Yes.
Hello, everyone.
Oh.
Hello.
Um,
I had a bit of beer before this, which would explain my giddiness.
I'm
Sorry.
getting second wind now before I go to bed. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Daughter of Smoke and Bone live show. Here are my lovely, lovely co-hosts. We'll go around and introduce ourselves. So if you're on my channel, then hello. You're here on Books with B. Hello. And Sophia, you can go next.
Hello, I'm Sophia from the channel Sophia's Thoughts, and I read fantasy books, and I binged this whole series in January. So
That was
take
one of the
from that what you will.
Yeah, that was one of the questions that I had
Oh,
was who
sorry.
has binged the whole series. That's fine. I'll ask later. Ali, you can go.
Oh, hi, I'm Allie from Kisty Reads, and I also read fantasy.
Hi, I'm Joanna from Joanna Sosa, and I also read fantasy.
Shocking.
And this
All
book
of us read fantasy.
is like one of the first books of fantasy that I ever read, so it's kind of fitting that we're talking about it.
Really?
Yes.
That's really good. Was it your third, fourth time rereading it?
This is my third time reading this book.
Third time's charm.
Literally.
Okay. What was I gonna say? I totally blanked there for a second.
I don't know.
Okay. Let me know in the comments what were your ratings for this. I just finished it an hour ago in my typical fashion. I am thinking between 4.75 to 4.5. We'll get to why in like the spoiler session because I think it's a spoiler. I just liked the end half more than the first half.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. If you read the book, you know why. So that is why it is not a 5, but because of the last half, it is a 4.75. It's so good. I loved it so much. Yeah, Sophia, what did you rate the first book, not the whole trilogy?
Well, I don't rate books because
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
really bad at rating books, but I really, really liked it. And I actually was like, I had COVID in January, and I was like early on in having COVID when I read this first book, and it made me feel better. So,
Yay.
Yeah. This is very heartwarming, though, but also like heart aching as well.
Yeah, but also so easy to read.
100%. Yeah. Ali?
I gave it a 4. I thought it was really, really good, but it wasn't like, I don't know, 5 stars for me have to be like either like emotionally impactful personally or just like really amazing on a very specific scale. But it has like all the good elements of a really good YA novel. Like I think if someone enjoys that kind of YA fantasy romance, like kind of whimsical with an edge, I would say it's really, really good. There was something about it. There was some pacing issues and certain items that felt like a little bit like plot holes that didn't totally add up. Maybe they add up in the next few books, but it was really good. Easy to read for sure.
Yeah. For me, it was really hard to rate because it is my third time, and I read it for the first time like 9 or 10 years ago, and so it is completely a nostalgia read for me. And it was always a 5-star read, and I think this time, because of the same reasons what you guys were saying, I think it's a 4.5, something like that. But honestly, since it's so nostalgic, it's hard for me to say. Actually, I just love it. I love it. It's fun.
Yeah, I can see what you mean because I think we're the only ones that this is our first time reading the first book. Well, Sophia as well, but she's read the entire trilogy. But yeah, like, but I understand what you mean by plot holes because there's so many unanswered questions, and I hope it is answered in the second and third book.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you. Has any of you read Laini Taylor's other works, like her Strange Dream Anthology? All of you? Okay. So were any of you trying to see like Easter eggs from Stranger Dreamer in this first book?
I'm like the opposite. When I was reading Stranger Dreamer, I was looking for Daughter of Smoke and Bone Easter egg.
So she did write Dosab first, right?
Yep.
Yes.
I was though thinking about it because some stuff could be, like without really spoiling anything, it could be that there are connections, and I'm still looking for them, especially going into the next couple of books.
Yeah, I see that. I didn't even think of it until you just asked that question. And I'm
Yeah.
like, huh. I mean, the blue thing, obviously. She clearly loves the color blue.
Yeah, clearly.
Like,
I mean, like, I want blue hair, but I
who
can't wish
wouldn't?
it. Yeah. It's like, I wish I had blue hair. I wish I had wings so I can fly. Or I just wish I could fly. That'd be
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
I mean, if I could fly, I'd be visiting you all like constantly. So maybe it's a good thing I don't have wings because you'd all get sick of me.
Teleportation though would be better because like flying, you still have to.
Yeah.
It still takes time. Teleportation, you're like, I want to go see Vish now. Bloop, here I am.
Yeah.
Hello.
I'm like,
I don't
Yeah,
warn
just
you.
like,
I just
knock on
show
the
up
door.
when
Hi
you're
there.
sleeping. Good morning. Here I am. Creepily watching you sleep.
I bought you some English breakfast tea to wake you up. There you go.
Oh boy.
I hate tea. Get
Oh,
out of
sorry.
here. I'm kidding. Joanna, you're always welcome.
Also to watch you sleep, perfect.
Yes. Be like Edward. Watch someone sleep.
Oh god.
I've done that. Creepily enough, I always wake up before my friends when we go anywhere, and then I'm like,
Oh yeah.
do I wake them up? Do I not wake them up? I'm like, you look peaceful now. I won't.
I just realized that in this book they do watch each other sleep.
Mhm. That's why Sophia and I were talking about this, and I'm like, yes, it has a lot of the tropes that we know, but
Yeah.
kind of this is where they started since it's so old.
Yeah.
But yeah,
When was this published?
2011.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not as old as I thought.
But like she did it in a way that is not cheesy. At least for me, I just thought it was just very natural to how things were written, and obviously her writing was beautiful. But
Yeah.
like what you said, Ali, in the Discord, where it's like it has an edge to it.
Yeah.
That is very true, and I don't want to say, but I feel like I love this type of writing more than Strange Dreamer. But they are two different types of things, I would say.
Yeah.
I think in both of them, they have like a type of whimsy that only Laini Taylor can really do. But this one has an edge to it, which I also just appreciate more. I don't know if that's because whimsy and like the super strange, the dreamer whimsical stuff almost feels like a fairy tale. And it feels very much like the fairy tales I used to read when I was little. So it gives me that nostalgia and that like comfort. But then this whimsy with the edge gives me that excitement. And it's just really interesting to read. So it feels less familiar, but really just like a little edgy, a little like sexier, but it's not like a sexy novel.
Mm-hmm. That makes total sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think going into the next ones, now that we've all read the ending of this one, you can see how that edgy aspect is going to be even more important. And so, yeah. But I agree with you that the second part of the book started, I just could not stop. So it's like, oh, I'll stop at that point because I knew it was coming. And then I was like, nope, can't do it. Just read the whole dang thing. I read it in less than 24 hours. It was like, yeah.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah.
Have you read the whole series, Joanna?
No, I still have a bookmark from like 10 years ago or like 7 years ago in the third book where I stopped. I think it was page 175 or something like that.
Okay.
So I've read the second one and 175 pages of the third one.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't remember much of it, do you?
No. I have vivid flashes of like 2 or 3 scenes from the second book that are really like in my head that I will never forget, I think. But I don't even remember where they happened in the book. I don't remember any of it. So
yeah.
Maybe they don't even happen in the second book. Maybe
no, they do.
In Abbey and inflated.
No, they do.
2 and 3.
That I know.
Hello.
Hi.
Thanks for coming. I also wanted to ask, since this is a Laini Taylor book, did any of you have a favorite quote from this book?
Yes, I'm gonna go grab my book because it's here. But I do.
Because I am going to see. Also, anyone in the chat, let me know your ratings if you've read the first book, if you read the whole trilogy, and if you have any favorite quotes, let us know as well. while we scramble to find our favorite.
Yeah.
Well, I tabbed mine. It was my first tab, and it's like I don't always tab a book, but sometimes I get inspired to tab, and I was not going to tab the book. And this is what inspired me to tab. It's the second half of a sentence, and it goes, "She moved like a poem and smiled like a sphinx." And I was like, oh, that's so good.
That is really good.
It's really
I got it. I have one. So I have one that made me laugh, which I need to find. And I was like, yes, it's a Susanna quote, and I could totally relate. I need to find it. But this one I found, and it was just, oh, I love it. It says, "To take from the universe, you must give. But why pain? Couldn't you give something else, like joy? It's a balance. If it were something easy to give, it would be meaningless. You really think joy is easier to come by than pain? Which have you had more of?" And I thought that one was pretty sad.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I tabbed
I
that
like
one.
it.
yeah, that's sad. That's very sad.
Mine was the whole loneliness thing, where it's like, for the way loneliness is worse when you return to it after a reprieve, like the soul's version of putting on a wet bathing suit, clammy and miserable.
Yeah. That one's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. And obviously, like the iconic quote where it's like about hope and how hope can be a powerful force. Maybe there's no actual magic in it, but when you know what you hope for most and hold it like a light within you, you can make things happen almost like magic. Because that is, it's a thing in the book. So good. It was really good.
I won't
Sophia,
find
did you have
but
any?
it was
What did you say?
Did you have any favorite quotes?
No, I'm not really the thing with reading for me is it's much more about story and characters than it is about writing. So I very, very rarely
Mhm.
pick out specific quotes and things. It's more just like a vibe.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
4.5 stars. Oh, first Laini Taylor book. Are you
Good.
thinking of picking up her other series? Because it is different, but is equally as good.
Oh, I got it. I found it.
Yeah.
It was Susanna. This is just funny. She says, "I swear I hate more people every day. Everyone annoys me. I feel if I'm like this now, what is it going to be when I'm old?" And I wrote,
Oh my
"Yep."
god. I tabbed that too.
I thought I was like, "That's me. That's me. People annoy me all the
Yeah.
time." And I'm like, I'm barely 30, so
I always think of that what is it? It's not a meme, it's like a real thing, like, oh no, people.
Yeah.
That's how I feel all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I tabbed it. It was so funny. This resonated with me.
Yep.
If I'm cranky now, what would I be when I'm old?
Exactly.
So, any more spoiler-free thoughts before we dive into spoilers?
I think this one is a good book for someone who likes reading YA or is new to fantasy and is used to books that are set in our world and have a few magical elements, but that are ready to dive into something that's a bit more epic fantasy. Still YA, but more epic. So I think this one is a very good recommendation for that.
Yeah, and for
Yeah,
people
because of
who
the
have
other world. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
oh sorry, I was just gonna say, and for people who like kind of paranormal type stories as well.
Yeah.
Because you explore like a second world, and it's not very info dumpy because there are certain things that are withheld from you, and I'm assuming will be answered, and the information will be given to you in the rest of the books. So you have to slowly find out, which is really great.
And I
Well,
feel like
when we
nothing is described. Oh, sorry, go for it.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I feel like nothing is described, at least for now, in a way that you cannot imagine. Like everyone can imagine an angel. Everyone knows what like a wolf looks like. So it's not like when you're like, and then there's Stormlight, and you're like, what the hell is Stormlight? What does that look like? You know? So it's I feel like it's very approachable for fantasy.
Mhm.
When we're talking about spoilers, if you want me to say if certain questions get answered, then I will say. But if you don't want me to say, then I won't say. So you can let me know as we go what we do.
Okay.
It's a good
Yes.
one too.
That is a good one. My personal favorite, Muse of Nightmares.
Me
but-
too.
Me too. And everyone is always like, Strange the Dreamer. And I'm like, it's so good. But have you read the second one?
Much more in depth.
And then
Oh,
when I was like, well, no, Muse of Nightmares is only okay. And then when I read Muse of Nightmares, I was like, I love this way more.
I feel the
So
same
different.
way. Because I think it has that like dark edge that Strange the Dreamer does not. And it's interesting when you're kind of going more into like adult genre. You kind of want a little bit more edge. So I think it's just the difference between the age thing. Yeah.
It is a totally different feeling, but even though
Yeah.
it's a sequel, it feels completely different.
Yeah.
And I think that the themes explored in Muse of Nightmares resonate way more with me because I feel like it's just like the quote I just read. You have the joy versus pain, and I feel like that's literally Stranger Dreamer versus Muse of Nightmare. So
Yeah.
you kind of have that feeling where, as much as I love and analyzing how humans or people, whether they're alien or not, or fantasy creatures or not, experience love and joy, I think it's so much more telling how you are in face of adversity and in trials and when you suffer. And so I think that's to see how other people deal with anger and pain and disappointment is something that is very fascinating to me. So,
And I
That's-
just realized how these two series really explore that with the pain and the joy and also all-consuming love at the same time.
yeah,
She likes those topics and she does it very well.
she does.
Can I ask one question that would be like kind of non-spoilery, but maybe like a little spoilery? I just want to ask, and then you guys can say if you want Sophia to answer. Because Strange the Dreamer was like more happy and light, and then Muse of Nightmares was more dark. I'm just wondering for this series, does it get darker? Is that an okay thing for Sophia to answer?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Because
Yeah.
I
that would be
remember
really
the second one, but it was being darker. I don't know how the third one is, but I remember the second one was darker.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like, we're not going into Broken Earth trilogy type territory, but
So
yeah,
good.
it's more Muse of Nightmares than Strange the Dreamer.
Okay, that's perfect analogy.
Yeah. exactly. I'm excited for that.
Me
Yeah.
too. I'm
I don't
so
know how I am not binging the series. Like Sophia, good on you. Like
yeah.
you
She
did
was
a good
like, should I continue or should I not? I was like, do it.
do what you want.
I am embracing the mood, and I was like, do you know what? I want to read it, so
I don't know that life. I don't know that mood reading life. I wish.
You have too many things going on.
I know. I mean, I do this to myself. Like I love it, but also stress. It's fine. It was a reread for me. I loved it just as much as the first time. Makes me want to pick up Strange Dreamer. We highly recommend it.
Yep.
Do it. Do it right now.
Yep.
Well,
Go ahead.
finish this
Well,
trilogy.
finish this
first,
live show and then.
Oh yeah. Finish those two, and then do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Also, the audiobook is really good. I really like the narrator for this
Yeah.
audiobook. She's really good. I was trying to see what else she narrated, but it's mostly like Jeff Kennedy and someone else. I'm not sure. But she sounded familiar.
Yeah, I'm
What's her
trying to
name?
remember now.
If I didn't listen to the audiobook, I couldn't find them
Yeah.
anywhere.
I just
Really?
did a physical read.
Yeah, me too.
I just got
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Audible.
I'm not a big
No one
audiobook
is
person.
surprised to know that I listened to the audiobook.
It's Christine. I don't know how to say it, but Vam.
I think it's just Vam.
Vam. There you go.
No.
She did a very great job, especially with Stone's
she-
voice.
Yes. She also has read the Queens of Renthia series by Sarah
Okay.
Beth Durst, so that's where I know her from.
Okay.
I want to read that series. I heard really good things about
Me
it.
too.
Highly recommend.
Okay.
Is it
Now,
finished?
Yeah, it's finished. So it's a trilogy, and then there's a spin-off book, and it's definitely adult, and she doesn't shy away from being brutal, which is one of the things I really love about it. Like, if you want a fantasy that is not going to pull its punches, and then not super long, which is always nice.
That is nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, her entire trilogy is like one Sanderson book.
Yeah. Sanderson books. I'm gonna give myself like 2-3 months for The Way of Kings, just cause.
Yeah, take your time.
You can. I just don't think that once you get to a certain point that you'll want to.
Okay, fair enough. I'm just like a 1,000-something page book, and I love tomes, but I just think that like every book being that long.
And plus, you want to savor it too, because it's a
Mhm.
it's a huge book full of information and things happening.
Yeah, and everyone's like, "Oh, there's like Easter eggs, and you're gonna find things," and I'm like, "Oh God, now there's pressure of like finding
Yeah.
things."
Oh my God, there's so much pressure reading Stormlight
It
Archive.
does
I
not
feel-
matter if you don't find it. If you find it, it's cool, but it's not like
No. And it's
We'll
like
be
I
kicked
feel
out
like
of the Cosmere Discord. Okay.
Yeah, in my head, I was like, what if I'm too dumb to find the Easter eggs?
I'm too
Like,
dumb
I
to find
feel
them.
the
I
same
sometimes
way.
guess them.
too.
Yeah, seriously.
I don't find them. Like if I find them, it's on rereads. Like
Mhm.
first time
100%,
reads,
yeah.
no way.
Yeah,
No way.
I could see that.
Unless there's like
Unless-
something really obvious, which of course I won't spoil
Yeah.
because it's a huge
Yeah.
ass spoil for Cosmere. But there's one thing where you're like, oh, it can only be this because it's literally, so. But other than that, I'm like, sounds vaguely familiar. Doesn't matter. Let's continue.
There was me in this where I was like reading this, like this.
What is it on the cover of that? Is it Brimstone? I never could
Yes.
tell.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let me-
those
I'm
are so
gonna
pretty.
And I
So
think that's
pretty,
fun.
yeah.
But I
I
love
think
yours
that's
too, Allie.
I love this one a lot. This was like my favorite, and then Caitlin
yeah.
from the Almost Book Doctor showed me the cover that Bish has from the UK, and I was like, oh no. But they're both really nice. Like all of these covers are super
I
like
have it.
blue and electric. Yeah.
Yeah, those
I
are
do
so
like the
pretty.
second book.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, that's
cool.
pretty.
Is that?
Dang. Yes, it is.
I see it now.
We can
I
talk
see
about the spoilers soon.
Yeah.
I see it.
And then
Okay, we'll
where's
do
the
spoilers.
third
Spoilers.
I've sent
I'm
you a
excited.
close-up picture, Joanna,
Oh, thank you.
the cover.
Okay, spoilers.
Whee! Okay.
Yay.
Okay. Has anyone read the Fallen series by Lauren Kate?
No.
No.
Oh.
You were so excited and like,
Wait. Which one?
The Fallen series by Lauren Kate?
Is that the one that starts with Hush Hush?
No, that's a different one.
I've read
So
that
it's kind
series.
of similar.
Yeah.
So Hush Hush, I feel like it was very big in the US. And then the
Okay.
Fallen series was very big in at least Australia. I'm not sure about the UK, but it was very popular here. And it's the same like kind of angel forbidden love kind of series. And that series reminded me so much of this because back then I thought that series was crap. But this one fulfilled my craving for that angel forbidden romance kind of story. And oh my God, I loved it so much. I always loved that like forbidden love, all-consuming romance type of thing where it gives you like an ache to your heart because it's like so all-consuming. I love that.
We're like gluttons for punishment, I feel.
Seriously. On a reread, like I always feel wary because people are like, am I gonna like this? And I'm like, well, it's hard to say because people hate insta love, and so
Yeah.
it can come across as insta. But once you know that it's not, and that's yeah. But it's like this star-crossed lovers thing, and it's like the horrible pain that they were in. It's just like, it's like it's horrible. It's
It's
horrible.
so much pain
but
and
it's so-
frustration.
Yeah.
But I actually felt that way. Like it was very insta-lovey in the beginning. That's why I said I wasn't a big fan in the beginning. But I was like, this is so quick. What is happening? Like,
Mhm.
and then it made me think of the Fallen series because I was like, well, they're connected somehow, and I didn't know how. Obviously, in the latter end, she finds out that she was. Okay, I'm not sure if anyone else, because of Encanto, is anyone saying Madrigal in their head instead of
Yes! I was
Madrigal?
like, wait. I'm like, I was like, after I read that a few times just to make sure. And I was like, no, it's the same word.
Yeah, the audiobook was like magical. I was like, no,
Yeah.
it's Madrigal.
No, Madrigal. Yeah, I don't say madrigal. Oh, that sounds bad. That sounds
I
wrong.
say it also madrigal because just it's like Portuguese Spanish influence.
yeah.
Like, yeah, this is how you say this word. You don't go saying madrigal. Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Sounds weird.
That's why I was like, okay, I'm just gonna say Madrigal because it's so weird just saying madrigal.
But did you guys like see it coming in a way, like the teeth were for bodies and she was dead? But
I think I did, and I put it in your Discord, Vish. I think the teeth.
Oh,
I
I
was
haven't
like,
looked at it yet.
I was like, I think he's using it for like because it was too it didn't feel like, I guess not obvious, but they were talking about at one point in the book how the chimera were like a combination of different animals, and then like the next few chapters were like all the different teeth of the different animals he was collecting and how he like wanted predators, and I was like, this
You're
is
smart.
familiar. Like, I wonder if like the teeth and the chimera body parts are like connected somehow.
Wow. I did not. I just thought like different animals had like different strengths of power, and like humans are like the highest amount of power.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, but obviously I was wrong. But I really liked that reveal of the teeth and how he used it for resurrection, and how each like different teeth of different animals match up with the. It's very like scientific as well. But it's
Yes.
specific.
It makes a lot of sense.
And
I
I
think it ties in with the pain too.
Yeah, the pain. So much pain.
And about like that, what was her name? The jealous little friend.
Cairo?
Chiru, I think her name is. I wrote it down.
Chiru.
Chiro. That's
I wrote it as Cairo. I don't know why.
The audiobook said Chiro. What a bitch.
Oh, I was like, you little, and then you deserve everything that happened to you.
Yeah, I was like, I'm glad
Body
she's
being
gone.
taken over? Yes. You know?
I was wondering that though. Is her like, are we certain that she like is gone?
Well, yeah, because she's not gone. She was just suppressed.
She was pushed over, right? Like her soul is just so weak with envy, and I'm just like, I don't know.
I see Sophia very quiet. So
yeah,
I'm watching you.
We can't look at Sophia. She has to just put the book like in front of her.
Like Abby with like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't think Cairo. I don't think or Chiru is the. We're not done with her.
Karu, no.
I kind of wonder if she's like Tiago's wife now or something. If she got like resurrected and she's like, give me a human body, and now he's like all over her. Just be very mad.
I don't think so. I think she's still very much on the path of P. Ooh, I don't know. That epilogue, she was pretty angry. She might want vengeance for what Akiva did. Vengeance.
Yeah, that
vengeance will be mine.
That part was very it was almost like it was very sudden for me. It went from like understanding each other and trying to figure each other out to like, oh, you did this thing and I hate you. And I understand why one would hate the other, but that felt really sudden.
Especially if you have all the memories of the war going on and knowing that he thought this whole time that Brimstone had let her die, and they are literally at war. They've been at war for hundreds and thousands of years, and then it's like, no, but you killed them, therefore I shall never talk to you again, even though 10 seconds ago I was like madly in love with you. You know, it's like, of course it hurts, and yeah, I can that instinct of saying, oh, I'm angry at you, I hate you right now, I get it, but it's also like you do have all the knowledge, so yeah, it was a bit. I didn't love
the epic vengeance thing was too much for me. I was like, you can't go from like being like this is your soulmate to like epic vengeance against him in the matter of like 5 pages.
Yeah,
it doesn't make that. I think that part I didn't like because it was so sudden and it didn't make sense. We had been building up to their like epic soulmate love story for the whole time.
Agree.
Only just to fall here and to fall without like there was no confusion on her part. She was so sure of hatred. And I'm like, but how are you not confused? Like, I would be very confused and conflicted. So I didn't like that. And I'm wondering if we'll see a little bit of inner conflict in the next books.
Yeah,
But
I feel
also
like it must
with
be really.
her,
Oh, sorry.
sorry.
No, go
But
ahead.
also with her storytelling so far, like with the flashbacks, she didn't do it chronologically. She went like here and then here and then
Mhm.
here. So I'm thinking with the epilogue, I feel like she deliberately didn't say what happened between them and just went straight to the epilogue. And then they find out
Okay.
later. Maybe there's a plan or not plan or something, you know what I mean? So I definitely get like it was very sudden for her to be like, yeah, peace out, bye, I'm leaving. So
Yeah.
maybe there will be an explanation because of the way she told that flashback where she deliberately didn't tell it in chronological order, I guess to keep up the pace and the intrigue.
Mm.
I would be open to that. I just, I want a little bit more of like an explanation there.
Yeah, for sure. I totally
That
get
makes
that.
sense.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
I
I feel
get
like it
why
must
he
be.
was sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I feel like it must be really hard to live a life and then forget that life and live another life, and then all of a sudden you've got them both in your head. Like, that must be so hard
Yeah.
because the way that you grow up has so much to do with who you are as a person.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I hope she at least explores that in the second book because she would kind of have two different lives and there would be conflict, I'm assuming, because of that two
Mm.
different lives. Hopefully that will be in the second book, she'll talk about it. It's
Something
okay.
I liked about this book before that second part, before the magicalness happened, I really liked the whole travel throughout the world. How
Mm.
we've read David Bud together, and how we were like, "Ooh, they were so nice." And here, being in Morocco, it was like, "Oh, hello," And then
Yeah.
when I was like, "Oh, been there. It's freezing there. Let's get out of here," And I just really like that traveling aspect, which is why I think it's such a good series if you want to start fantasy, because you are so much set in our own world, and even if you've never
Yeah.
been to Prague, you can imagine what the mountains of
It's so
Iceland must be,
atmospheric.
Yeah, the atmosphere is really strong in this one, and I really like that about it. And Susanna was just a fun comic relief.
Yeah, she is so great. I really hope at least she was a better sister than
Yeah.
Chiro was.
Yeah,
I'm hoping
which is
that
funny
she's
how
just a better friend.
she always had that one female friend, even as
Mm,
Madrigal and as Karu, so that's really cool.
I know.
I just
I
hope
hope
that Susanna is a better friend than.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I hope she at least goes with Karu to her adventures and stuff. Because
Yeah.
that'd be really good. I like how she had a found family with because the way Akiva made out like Brimstone to be like this evil person, but I really liked how he was kind of human as well, even though he is a chimera and people kept calling them monsters and beasts, but he was more human than any of them
Yeah.
because he felt all the pain and suffering that he was doing. And he also wanted peace. And that was very heartbreaking.
If I were him, I would have just put like a rotten tooth in Thiago's necklace and go, "Oh, sorry, mistake. Whoops."
Also,
Didn't
what was
mean to.
yeah.
That scene where she goes through the door finally and she finds like all their bodies, I was like, this is kind of creepy. Like, if it doesn't feel
Yeah.
creepy to me because I'm like not in it. But imagine if you were her and you just like found all of these, like, it would just be really creepy. And then
It
to
was,
get attacked, like, oh no,
yeah. Someone
whoa,
just wakes up.
I know, like, oh,
He's
that would
like,
freak me out.
yeah.
It's such an important scene, though. I find
Yeah.
it to be like super important because then you realize like how easily she could have put herself in danger and like how she didn't know anything. And I was like, wow, that was like just such a good scene.
And how much
With your
Brimstone and the what were their names? I forgot.
Lisa and
Issa, where is it? I wrote it down. Issa, Twiga, and Yasri.
Yes, all of them. How they protected her fiercely because,
Yeah.
as a kid, you're so curious and you want to try everything and you want to touch everything. So being a door there, I can only imagine that baby Karu was like, oh, what's here? What's this door? What's this door? I want to go. And yeah, they really did a good job protecting her for so long.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like that found family aspect that I just love in books,
I
you know?
do love that. Yeah. Because at one point I didn't think they were doing good by her, but then obviously proved
Mhm.
wrong. But I don't know if it's just me, but do you think Akiva needs a little bit of personality than the brooding warrior that he is?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he
Tiny
needs more personality.
He's a bit like,
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Mm.
yeah. And I'm reading Crescent City again right now, and I'm like, you know, like there's two, like there's Hunt, and then there's Active, and I'm like, yeah, he does need a little bit of like oomph to him.
I was actually wondering when I was reading
Yeah.
like Daughter of Smoke and Bone. I think I put it in my Discord. I was like, guys, I'm like reading this, and I'm kind of wondering if like Sarah J. Maas read Daughter of Smoke and Bone and like added, because they're very
Yeah.
similar, like
Yeah.
angelic
Mhm.
stereotypes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Also, this is just random, but you know that the ball scene where everyone has to wear masks, and he was wearing the horse mask. Did anyone picture like the rubber horse mask?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I was like, so ridiculous. Like, it's no one else. This is so ridiculous. And then he changed masks. I was like in my head, I'm like, yeah, like the rubber and the horse mask gets really smelly, but then I'm like, it's probably not a thing in their world. Because I've worn a horse mask before. So.
Probably
Yeah.
something pretty, and we're like,
A horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking like the ugly, like rubber horse mask, that horse that looks like it's screaming. Like that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And like when he moves, it moves as well.
Yes.
I was also thinking of like BoJack Horseman. Not attractive.
No, but I guess it's a good disguise.
I guess so.
but the whole ball thing when they put sugar on her, that was so disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was that.
Creep, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I love wolves, but this was not a good wolf.
This is not a good wolf. Mm-mm. This is not the animal companion I want.
Yes, no.
Seriously.
You can kill wolves.
Imagine.
Oh. Okay, but you know what else is creepy? That fallen angel. He looks. Have you guys looked at fan art from him?
Oh, Rascal.
No, but I
Actually.
imagined it. It's so gross.
It's so good. And when he licks her, she's like.
Ugh.
Oh no, that
Oh,
was
yeah, I
bad.
remember that. Oh no.
Rascal is like the fan art of him is like exactly as slimy and as you can imagine it.
Oh yeah.
Your faces.
Gross. Yeah.
Yeah. First time I read it, I was like, wait, am I picturing this right in my head? And this is why I was always a slow reader, because I always wanted to get everything exactly
Yeah.
perfect in my head. Now I don't do that anymore, but I still have, of course, Rascal in my head from all those years. And I'm like, oh, I forgot about you.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah.
That was not a fun image.
No.
I've never seen West Side Story, so I have no idea what that means.
Me neither.
But I can see the Romeo and Juliet thing.
Yeah.
I can see both of those things. It's very much like it can be a little bit West Side Story-ish. I think West Side Story is pretty much the Romeo and Juliet retelling, just with the Irish clan and the, what was it? Mexican or Portuguese folks. I can't remember which one. But in like New York, there's a lot of like family being ashamed of each other kind of thing. So I can see that.
Oh yeah. I can definitely see that. On the reread, I felt like it was much
This
more
was about the
obvious.
teeth. Yeah.
I already knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Totally.
Yeah.
I love the found family. I feel like it's so relatable.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's such a popular and like well-loved trope.
Yeah.
And if you see, she does it well, because it's this in her other series. She also has the found family trope, and
Yeah.
I think it's something that means a lot to her, and I think she does it really well.
You can see kind of like when I was reading this book, I was like, this is almost like wish fulfillment. Like it's almost like she's putting like her own hopes and dreams for the world in the novel,
Mm-hmm.
and like not disguising that, but like wrapping it in a beautiful fantasy story. But I'm like, this novel felt very personal when I was reading it, though it was like a fantasy novel.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. That's a
I
good
wish she
point.
wrote more because I know it's not like she doesn't have a lot of books out, but she's someone that I know the second she's gonna write something, I'm like, yes, I'm interested. Especially
Yeah.
She's
her
now an
character.
autobi author for sure.
Oh yeah.
I think with this book, she's secured like her autobi author status with me too, because now I'm like, okay, it's not just whimsy. There's like an edge to the whimsy, but I would really like her to write more. I don't know why
Yeah.
she's not.
I also would like her to write adult as well because she can
Yes.
dive way more deeper into those feelings, and
Yes.
that would be amazing.
Maybe we
Yeah.
can spam her on social media and be like, hey,
Give me
Please.
more pain, please.
yeah,
Yeah.
more whimsical pain. Thank you. It's my order.
Did you say whimsical pain?
Yeah.
I love it.
It's whimsical pain.
Oh yeah, I still want to read that.
Oh, I
Oh,
want to read that
I read
too.
that.
We should add that
Oh
on.
yes.
Yes,
I would
we
love
can
for
add
us
that
to
to
add that.
Yeah, we can do that on the last live show. We can discuss both of them if you'd like.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
would
would.
definitely read.
I haven't read that yet, but I would recommend reading it after the second book at least, because I feel
Okay.
like contextually it will make more sense.
Oh, how do you know these things, Sensei?
Oh, just because I've read the synopsis of what it's about.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
You are wise.
About the horse.
Yeah.
So weird. I just
Yeah.
Because he doesn't care about her. It was never about her. She's just an object. Why would he wouldn't notice any change in behavior or emotion because he doesn't see her that way?
She's just a pretty body.
Yeah, she's just like his property now, or like his future property. So he just
Stephanie! Sorry. I was really excited.
No, I'm so glad she's here.
Yes.
Yes, read it. I want to see the illustrations because
Me too.
the writing and the illustrations is gonna be so good.
She has a short story collection which I own. I haven't read yet. It's Lips Touched 3 Times. I have no idea what it's about, but I think it's something romantic and it's also illustrated. So
Oh, nice.
She does have another series, but she didn't complete it. I think she only did 2 books.
oh,
really let me get my handy Goodreads out.
Because I was trying to see if I could do like an author review for her. Because obviously after Strange Dreamer and this, I would kind of be complete. But then I looked at her other solo like books, not anthologies, and she does have those 2 novels that are part of a series, but she didn't complete
Oh,
it.
the Fairies of Dream Dark.
I don't know if I want to.
Is it a duology?
I don't know.
and
It
at
Oh
least
no,
I don't
there's a
know.
third one, Untitled. Not that
Yeah.
you can see it.
When did that come
And
out?
she finished that like what, before 2011 or something like that?
Oh yes, it's never gonna get
That's not
completed.
happening.
Oh, that's
Yes,
so
I don't know.
disappointing that she just didn't like. You have 2. Why not just release the third?
Well, I
I
guess
think
it's
I'm
a
going
little
to read
bit
it.
like
See.
yeah, it's
Oh, and
like
apparently oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry, I was just gonna say I think it's a bit like Schwab, where she wrote the two books in the Dark Vault trilogy, and because stuff went so badly with the publication of it, she's just never written the third book, and she feels like mentally she couldn't go back to it because it just has so many bad memories attached to it because of the publishing stuff that happened.
Oh,
So maybe I mean, I'm not saying it's something like that, but it could be.
Yeah.
that's a good point. The second one apparently ends on a cliffhanger, though. So
Oh,
Well then,
I
there's
just
that.
wrote a review, and they were like, "There's going to be a third one, right?" And I was like, "Oh, you poor soul!" Back like 10 years ago.
Still waiting, like even more bitter than George R. R. Martin fans.
I was gonna say, wait
think
until
it'll
the
okay.
Rockfest.
I think
Oh,
I'm
you're
still gonna
right,
read it
Sophia.
to see.
It says Night of Cake and Puppets 2.5. So
Okay.
definitely after the second one.
Okay, so we'll definitely do that. Do we want it on the second live show or the third live show?
Third.
Third one?
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, we'll do it on the third. We'll do the third one because
Yeah.
then it'll be inclusive.
I still think that you could do an author review, though.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
maybe
I'm definitely
add,
gonna
like the Lips Touch 3 times, a Night of Cake and whatever. And that could be like pretty. That's pretty complete because
I'm trying not to do short stories because I want like whole novels. Like I'll try that series, and if I really like it, I'll just yell at her to complete it.
Do it.
Yeah.
See,
Or at
that
least
works.
just tell us what happens. Like,
Yeah. I'll do. I'll
Happening,
like.
you have
Yeah,
no
I'll do it.
self-control.
I'll do it for everyone. I will read it, and I'll tell you all to read it, and then we can all yell at her at the same time.
Yep.
Anything else that surprised you in this book?
well, I
feel like-
didn't see the teeth thing coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, neither.
That.
I did see that one time.
On this third read, I think that's something that is really, I don't know. I feel like for someone who's gone through so much shit, she's very much like, you know how she tells the stupid girl, like, if you shut up now, I'll give you your eyebrows back. And then in the morning she's like, oh, I owe someone something, and then she does it. She's very compassionate and very kind for someone who is so lonely and who suffers so much and who feels completely abandoned and just alone. With how she feels, you could imagine like a Nesta almost character, someone who's really like aggressive, and she's not at all like that. And I really liked seeing that there's still that everyone deals with it differently, and how she's strong in her own way.
Yeah.
And also, she grew up around a lot of monsters, and
Yeah.
she didn't end up like them. She ended up she had hope in her, and that radiated out.
It was so. Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, it was just so sad and heartbreaking when she got kicked out and then she couldn't get back. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
like you've got this
Especially when
family that
she
you
finished.
love.
Yeah, I
So
know.
sad
was
about
so
him.
sad.
Yeah,
I'd forgotten about that. And
it was really sad when she got kicked out. Because obviously they were her only family.
Yeah.
She didn't have anyone else.
I think my biggest surprise was Brimstone and like his character, because he just, when we see him with Karoo, he's just kind of like over it. He's like, oh, don't touch that, don't touch this, don't go there, don't do that. And you're like, dang, okay, like really aren't happy with life right now. Like you're just like a cranky old man who gives her like strangely good advice because he cares, but like just a cranky old man. But then you hear the conversation he had with Madrigal and just his wishes for like peace and harmony. And I'm like, it just shows you this like compassionate side, and you get like some of his history. And instead of being like bitter about it, he just wants peace. And he has like a logical explanation for why he wants peace, right? Like we can't ever beat them. Like no matter how much of this I do, we'll never be able to beat them. So it's better for everyone. And it's just like a logical explanation, but also like a very kind and compassionate one. And so he was the most surprising character to find out about.
I agree.
In the end, really.
Especially if you consider that he doesn't have a point of view. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Very true.
It's also kind of a bummer that we don't get to see him help Karoo with that path of peace. And I
don't know. I'm like, are they really dead? But I don't know if it's just like denial. I'm like,
where's
are they
the
really?
body?
Yeah, like
We'll make a body
exactly.
for him.
Where I don't know.
They could have escaped through the other door. I don't know.
That's why I'm like, are we? I don't know. Are we done? I'm just gonna hold that hope because I really like adore Brimstone now. Yeah,
I know his voice in the audiobook. I swear to God, it was so good.
I need to listen to that.
It reminded me of Calypso in Pirates of the Caribbean because she had like that Jamaican accent.
Oh,
you had a Jamaican accent.
Yeah,
That is
awesome. I know.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
Really
I'll have to reread this a fourth time. Oh boy.
I really love his voice in that, and also Susanna, because they're in Prague and they're Czech, so she had a Czech accent as well. It was also really good.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work to do all those accents.
Yeah.
I thought that she did really well.
She did a
and with
really good job.
Razgat as well, like that.
Yeah.
She made it sufficiently creepy, like
very creepy.
Did she give the dude who carries Razgat on his back? Did he have like a Mediterranean?
Yeah, he did.
Wow.
He had a Mediterranean accent.
That is so
Yeah,
awesome.
she's really good. Really, really good narrator.
Wow.
Dang it. So if you guys had the necklaces of wishes, what would you guys wish for?
That's a good question.
If you had the cheap one, you know, the one where you cannot be like, oh, I want to fly, but just a little one.
Oh, but I do want to fly.
I know, but let's start with a small wish first, Sophia. Okay.
Well, right now it's like 1,000,000 degrees, so I would wish for colder weather. Would that be too much? I don't know.
I'd wish for blue hair.
See, yeah.
Blue hair, maybe like violet eyes or something cool like that too.
You want to be Jennifer Vangerberg. Sorry.
I mean, Jennifer Vangerberg is kind of hot.
I wouldn't be opposed to look like Jennifer, so.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad about it.
Mm-mm. So
I
with
guess I
the
wish
small
for
wishes,
my hair to grow and like grow, but when I cut it, it still grows like quickly ish.
Ooh, but be careful what you wish for.
I know.
be careful what
Quickly
you
is
wish
a.
for.
I also like that whole kind of like very Jin-esque. Be careful what you wish for, and make sure to word your wishes correctly. And I was like, oh, I like that.
That is
Speaking of wishes, the itching scene. Oh.
Hilarious.
that was hilarious.
So funny.
That was
So
amazing.
That was so
I was
funny.
hoping that he would like not be able to run away and just do it in front of everyone.
Yeah.
No.
I was like, you deserved that. Like,
He was
He
such a-
really did.
He's such a dick, seriously.
We said this before, but it's yes, no, it's different from Stranger Dreamer, but it's still very much whimsical, but more of a darker tone to Stranger Dreamer. If you've read Muse of Nightmares, it's kind of like that, but
Yeah.
toned down a little bit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it does have, like, I see a second comment that it has romance, and it does, especially this first one, but I still think you should give it a go
Mhm.
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
sequels. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
So true.
Yeah,
It is
it
more.
kind of is. It kind of, yeah, especially I guess the first book so far, it's very much
Yeah.
an all-consuming romance.
I was surprised about that too. I was like, oh wow, this is like straight up fantasy romance. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I think that's like indicative of the time that she wrote it, though. Like a lot of these kinds of books were, I mean, that was the thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's like the time of Twilight and all those kind of books. So
I can see why it rose in popularity. It is well done.
Yeah.
Even
Also,
back then. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to show the art that came in the Lumicrate calendar.
Oh yeah, that one is so cute.
I know.
Oh, I love
I need to put mine up.
It is pretty.
I looked at it every time while I was reading. I was like, this is so cute.
See, I got that box, but I gave the calendar to my sister, so I don't have that.
I'm trying to give the calendar to someone because I don't need it. But then everyone sees like the it says star-crossed lovers. They're like, no, I don't want this. It's so cute. Take it.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Oh yeah, that is a very good one.
Yes.
Yeah, I would love to
That would
collect
be good.
languages because I suck at learning new languages. I've tried so many times.
I was about to say, Joanna, you don't need a wish for that.
No.
Yeah, you and Abby don't. Both have so
No.
much languages.
But it is nice. If I could, I would get, unless like I could cure my eyes and have perfect eyesight.
Oh,
That's something I
yes.
would do. That's like the one thing I would definitely. But if that was like a heavier spell, and then like if I could get a language, I would want to learn like a. Yeah, if you gave me a freebie language, I would pick between like maybe Arabic or like Chinese, something that's completely out there, or Japanese, something that would take me 4
Yeah,
years to learn
Japanese.
now, but that would be useful, and that would be. I've always been like attracted to the Arabic languages because it's just like the way it's written, so
Yeah, they're really
beautiful,
pretty.
Yeah, and because I'm from Portugal, so we have a lot of Moroccan and stuff there because of invasions and all that stuff. So Yeah, I've always been attracted, and I tried to learn it at one point, and I was like, yeah, this is way too difficult because you don't have any language that's like, oh, this is similar to German or
Yeah.
something like that, and then
It's a different route, isn't it?
yeah,
Completely.
so
Oh
it's too
yeah.
hard.
I feel like you should still try, Joanna. I feel like once you like just practice at it more, you'll get it.
Yeah, maybe one day I'll speak Arabic as my 8th
Finish
language.
Dutch first.
Yeah, that's my 7th. So we'll go to. I would like to die knowing 10 languages. That would be really cool.
Oh, how charming that sounds. I would
I'm
like
sorry.
to die knowing 10 languages.
I want to learn 10 languges in my lifetime.
I barely
There
know.
we go.
It's
There's
whimsical
no-
with an edge, Sophia. That's what it is.
It's whimsical with an edge.
Or is it edge with whimsy?
Both are accepted.
What
Also,
did Stephanie
Stephanie,
say? I love it.
yes, we want this too. Very much.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I feel like it's
Really?
like the Sergey Mass thing, you know?
Yes. Also, I never realized that. Now I have the urge to read all of her books so I can pinpoint what are the Easter eggs.
You talking about Lainey or Sarah?
Sarah J. Maas.
Sorry,
Mm.
I saw a TikTok about that yesterday. I was like, "Ooh, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole."
Yeah,
that's fair enough, Steve.
yeah.
I think that there's enough fantasy.
Yeah, it's a good balance. It's not focused on the romance, but the romance is there.
Mm.
It's
But as-
kind of like Saga, but with a more like drive for peace.
That is accurate.
That
That is really accurate. I never thought of that.
Yeah, because Saga is really similar.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Except
I've
for
only read
baby.
the first one, but yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Languages are awesome. I kind of want to become like fluent in Latin, just for fun.
Right? How cool would that be?
Fun.
Or like ancient Greek.
I took a few years of Latin. I mean, I'm fluent in Greek, but I'm not fluent in ancient Greek.
Oh yeah, you are fluent in Greek. I forget about that always.
Yeah, Greek and French, and then I'm learning Spanish. But I think Latin is such a cool language. I wish it wasn't dead.
And here we are again. Sorry, Sophia.
Whimsy with an edge. Sorry, Sophia. You got off the
We
most
just keep-
whimsically depressing call.
We just keep circling back round to death somehow.
I mean, the book talks about death a lot, right?
It does.
So
It
It
does.
does.
it's not too off topic.
I think
Yeah.
it talks about that more.
Death or
in-
romance?
Death in the second
Okay.
third books.
Okay.
I think as Sophia said, it'll just get darker instead of
Yeah.
focusing on the romance. Where the first one, I guess, it is very romancy.
And it's also setting things up.
Mhm.
Exactly.
We've kind of done the setup at this point, and then we can kind of explore it in more detail in the second and third books.
What you're saying is really like, again, I know I'm kind of like a broken record, but if this were another book, it would have started in the second book. You know, you wouldn't have the setup to get people acclimated to a fantastical world, which is why I think this is so good to start a fantasy journey, because in any other series, you'd be like, okay, and here's this magical world with angels and chimera and a ancient old war and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, what is going on? And here you had so much time to now get used to it, so you're ready for the sequel.
And I think the way that she's done that is really clever, because we have, in book one, we have Carew, who really doesn't know anything because Brimstone won't tell her anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then she gets her memories back. So Lani Taylor is then able, later in the series, to explore those more complex issues, because it makes sense for the character, because she now does have all of that knowledge, and we understand it through all of those flashbacks. So it's actually a really clever way, I think, of her having done that without having to have like a 6-book series for it to make sense.
Yeah.
You know what I just realized?
Mhm.
I don't know if anyone else realized this while reading. You know the wishbone
Yeah.
thing in the book? How like the wishbone represents hope, and hope isn't a real magic, but it's more strong than magic. But then Carew's name means hope, and the wishbone is full of hope's is full of hope, which are her memories.
Mhm.
But hope is stronger than magic. So does that mean Karoo is stronger than magic? I just found that really interesting. I wonder if that's like a foreshadowing thing.
I feel like that as well because obviously she is an integral part in all of this, so she would be hopefully be able to do something about it.
And yeah, she's the personification of like hope, which is why this feels very personal.
Yeah.
But I like that. I just figured out the play on like the words with the wishbone.
Yeah. Have you all ever wished on a wishbone?
I think I maybe have once.
You really see the lower half of this stream and the upper half of the stream. This lower half is like, no, negativity, death, everything, and then the upper, yes, wishbones and whimsy.
Okay, so we're the whimsy and
We're
you're
the
the pain.
Hey, I like pain. All right.
Happy to be of service, you know?
This is why when Ali and I pick something to buddy read, it's like, what can we pick that will make us painfully suffer and bleak and everything? And it's like, okay.
True. We enjoy it. The mutual suffering. It's better mutual together.
Yep. But I love how you I love pain.
I love pain too. It's like you're not left out. Don't worry. You're part of this.
Yes. Put me in the pain club.
Oh.
I'll take joy, it's fine.
So do you guys think we'll have more pain or more joy in the subsequent book, in the next one?
I think they'll be very interconnected.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I feel like there is going to be a war, but we don't know if it's going to be like the peacemakers versus the people that want to eradicate everyone. We should find out. It's just Sophia. Like nothing. I'm not saying anything.
I know nothing. I say nothing. Ask me no questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Akiba. That's such a nice name.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. She does have some really great names, just in general, in her books.
Yeah. Oh, there was the moth thing again in this one at some point. You know? It's like, oh, you like moths of all things.
Do you not like moths?
Why would I like moths? Weird.
They're just
I like the question. Do you not like moths? Why would I like moths? That's weird.
Like the word in and of itself, moth. It's a weird word. If this is not your first language, moth. It's really weird.
I just feel like I feel so sad for moths because
Why?
they're like colorless butterflies.
Exactly.
And they're kind of like dumb too because they think that everything is the sun. Like, I'm sorry. They're like a little dumb. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel bad for them.
Well, Lainey loves them. Someone in this world loves moths.
Yeah, they have a lot. Don't worry, they have a lot of love.
In this whimsical, edgy world.
I see what you mean about this as well. Like feeling happy.
Yeah.
Even though your life kind of sucks, but you're still kind of happy about it. But then you feel guilty about being happy because it's weird being happy when you're in a weird time.
Yeah.
For sure. That must have been so hard because you're so happy that you finally found someone that you love so much and you have your memories back, and then you're confronted with the cold hard truth of
I mean, in that life, just like in a nutshell.
Well, dang. Okay, now Sophia's getting dark. We've accomplished our goal.
Yeah, now
You've all infected me.
We have come full circle.
Yes.
Also, with like throughout the book, she always felt empty, and she thought that Akiva made her whole. But when she broke that wishbone and she got her memories back, she felt whole again. And I like that. It's kind of like a nod to self-love instead of love somewhere else.
That's true.
Yeah, I like that. I like that it wasn't like, oh, I'm only happy because I have you, which was very much 2011 stuff, you know? It's like, it's only through being with this other person that you are yourself, but no, you're yourself. And then he's a part of you, but he's not you. So.
Keep the bathroom.
I'm with you with remote car starter and bath. Like those are. It's also cold where I am, and yesterday we had like pretty much freezing rain, so there was a nice coat of ice along my car. A remote car starter would have been a great thing to have.
Here I am
Put
just
food in the
dying in
planet.
like 40-degree heat.
Yeah, well, you're in a totally like opposite end of the world.
I can't wait for tomorrow. It's gonna be cool. Cool. Like 26.
Yeah,
Oh, well.
no, here
That's
it's
like
cold
the
too.
height of summer here. 26.
Yeah.
I have a lot of students who are from Malaysia, and I'm like, they're always freezing, and I'm like, I literally feel your pain because it must feel so cold here compared to what you're used to. Like even in
Yeah,
summer, they're wearing coats.
yeah, actually I can see that because it's obviously it's not humid. Because even in Malaysia,
No,
like I wear
it's
jeans
not.
all the time. It's so
Yeah.
humid. But it's like it's not the same heat as in like here in Australia, because here in Australia it's like oven heat. Like when you open the door, it's like opening the oven door where all there's
Yeah.
hot air in your face. And when you stand in the sun, it's like you're burning from the inside out. But then in Malaysia, it's like you're just humid, but you're not dying from the inside out. So it's kind of
Humid is
like,
also gross.
Yeah,
but
I
it's
don't like
a
heat.
sense of like you get to release that heat from your body. But over here, you just burn. You don't
Yeah,
sweat.
that's horrible too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
I would rather, well, that's a bit of a stretch because it's only half the year here that it's summer. The rest is winter. The winter is great. But like I would rather have Malaysian heat than heat over here.
So
Do you want to do any predictions for the second one? I also won't say anything because I kind of know what happens. So vague
I
memory.
just think that there is more to the story than her just up and leaving
yeah,
Akiva.
yeah,
And also I think maybe Brimstone and the others is still kind of alive.
yeah. I agree with all of that. I think that we haven't seen the last of Chiru or Kiro
Yeah, Kiro, whatever
either.
her
Whatever that is.
She's so
However
like
you say that.
mullet,
yeah,
the
whatever.
mullet. That's her name.
So, you know, we haven't seen the last of her, but I agree. Like, it's not the last of Akiva.
Yeah.
What about his siblings? Because that also kind of ended just like, and I'm out of here.
I don't know. I wonder if like his siblings would be people or angels that could possibly be pulled into also wanting peace.
Mm-hmm.
I do wonder about that, and I think that because since Akiva comes from those angels that don't want anything to do with the rest of the Seraph, I wonder if we'll see more of that sect of Seraphim and their magic, because they like apparently have magic.
Yeah, so speaking of that, like I think Brimstone did allude that they're kind of relearning their magic
Yeah.
from the library, but he didn't exactly say what it is. So I'm hoping we find that out in the second book, like what makes them so powerful
Yeah.
other than warriors.
What were the plot holes that
yeah.
you found troubling?
I think we talked about them a little bit, and I can't recall them off the top of my head. But there were things to me, like even at the end, that didn't make sense. I think one of the things I really didn't like already said at the end.
Like her just leaving.
That like that's a hole to me. Like that's like an emotional hole that doesn't make any sense. And I would have appreciated, like, even if she's gonna tie that in the next book, there needed to be some kind of like, oh, there's conflict that you'll hear about later. There's also the whole of like, I mean, this might be explained later, but why is it so easy for them to have portals in the world but the Seraph don't? And then like, how did Akiva all of a sudden get to this human world? Like, and then devise a plan, because they weren't able to get to the human world, but they knew that they had portals and knew where all the portals were to get all that done efficiently. But how would you know if you don't have access to the human world where they all are?
I see what you
To
mean.
like burn everything and to like stop their operations, so to speak. But you don't have. But then there's one. I don't know. That whole thing didn't make a
That
lot of
slit
sense.
in the sky, which actually kind of reminds me of Strange the Dreamer, where it's just like a slit in the
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. But in Strange the Dreamer, it wasn't like a plot hole because they never put that like they're never here or something, or they sealed up all their entrances.
Mm.
So that was one. The emotional one was one, and then there was one more that irritated me, but I can't think of it. I will, if I think of it, I'll put it in your Discord, Vish.
I get what you mean. Like, especially with the portals. The portals are not explained as much
No.
as they should be.
And I wonder too, like maybe that's explained in the next few books. Maybe that's not a plot hole, but in this one, it felt like if it is explained in the next books, then I would have never put the words that are definitively as like they sealed up everything or they were never able to come back. Like that's too final.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Yeah, there's one more. I will send it to you when I think of it.
Oh, so you think that maybe he gave away where the portals were?
Maybe.
Oh, maybe.
Stupid Thiago.
Yeah.
And always reminds me of Iago, like that parrot from Aladdin.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
He likes to talk, so
he does.
Yeah, it's true.
That
Probably
scene
wanna
was
go
also pretty horrible. The whole torturing scene and
Yeah.
Mm.
I wish, I know this sounds morbid, like I wish I knew what he did to torture him because he's like an angel. What did he do?
Yeah.
because he didn't. I'm surprised that he still had his wings. I'm like, if you have an angel in your thing and you're gonna
Yeah.
torture him, just rip his wings out. Like
Exactly.
horrible. Sorry, but it's like if you want to be efficient at torturing an angel, this is what
We
you
know
do.
torture. Employ us.
Let me give you
Well-
ideas because you clearly suck at this.
This got dark without whimsy.
Yes.
We know torture.
We need to send you Glockta so he can help you out because clearly you don't know how to do your job. But yeah, I was like, why leave his wings? Like,
I don't think he was done with him, right? He has still had
Mm.
wanting to take his time. So
yeah,
Maybe-
but I think that will be the first thing you would do, even though you would be like, oh, I want to take it slow and savor it because I'm a psychopath. Maybe it's be like, what if he got away? Then at least he wouldn't have his wings, you know?
yeah,
Yeah, but I think like he was starting with the beheading as like his first part of his torture.
Mm.
And I guess Thiago would be like, well, I don't want him to be in so much pain that he can't feel the pain of that. So,
Never.
and that
his
imagery
torture
of that
was
scene.
talking.
Yeah.
Maybe his
Or someone
torture
did that.
was talking.
Sorry.
Maybe that was the torture. He was just talking to him.
Yeah, that would be torturous. To
Why
be
say you
fair.
damn wolf?
Imagine having to listen to that guy.
Oh boy.
What a child.
I'm excited to read the second one.
yeah.
Like I only have like one or two vivid scenes in my head, and that's it. So excited to see where those scenes happen and if they happen at all.
Yeah.
You should write them down now so that you remember what they are once you've reread it, so that you can tell us next time what they were.
Yes.
Sounds
definitely
good.
do that.
Like if your memory was accurate.
I don't think so. Because one of them, okay, but the other one is really weird. I must be making this up in my head, but
You have to tell me on WhatsApp after.
yeah, we'll
I'm
message you.
curious.
And they get longer. I'm excited because each book
Yeah.
is like 100
Yeah.
pages longer than the previous. So
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I
yes,
have them
bitch,
all
don't
here.
start it on the same day of the live show.
So this is.
I started it 2 days
Ah.
ago. Thank you very much.
Okay, yep, there you go.
That's book 1. That's book 2, and then that's book 3.
Yes.
Yeah, book 3 is a chunker.
It's a chunky, yeah.
He's chunky.
Yeah, how long is it?
I feel like I might end up binge reading 2 and 3 because that's generally
Yeah.
what happens to me is I'll binge read.
You did
over-
that with the David as well. You were very
Yeah,
good
I
with
did
the first one, and then
and then I couldn't stop.
The last one is 637 pages.
Wow.
yeah.
At least it's YA though. I feel like YA 630 is not like adult 630.
And she has short chapters. Praise
Oh,
West
that's
for short
so
good.
chapters.
I know. That was
Yeah.
so good.
Sophia
Well,
and I are
that's
reading
how-
Matt's Ship right now, and you
Those
have a
are
chapter that's like
long.
40 pages, and I'm like,
Yeah.
no!
Oh,
I mean, I love you, these
Yeah.
chapters, but 40 pages.
And
That's
that's
a
how,
lot.
like, so when I started reading Daughter of Smoke and Bone, I was like, I'm going to just read a couple of chapters before I fall asleep. And then before I knew it, I was on chapter 20. And I was like, okay, I really need to stop now. Like, I want to keep going, but I really need to sleep. So I paused it, went to sleep, woke up, and then just like binged the rest of it.
Wow.
It
Yeah, I
is
started
very
it last week on on Abby's
yeah.
sprints. I started it, and so we had 3 sprints of 30 minutes, and then I read 114 pages of that. And then, but that day I'd already read like 200 and something pages of I don't remember what. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop here. And then the next day I read the last 300 pages because I was like, I need to know, even though I know, but I can
Very,
still.
yeah.
Wasn't it Mask of Mirrors?
It was Mask of Mirrors, yes. I was like, what did I read? Yeah, it was that. Oh,
Did
that was
you
also
finish The Mask of Mirrors?
so good.
So good.
So
Yeah,
good.
it's
Like
on my list.
all-time favorite book now, like up there.
Wow. Okay.
Also whimsical with an edge. So
Yeah, I love it because it's like got a lot of political intrigue, and I feel like that's going to be really interesting to me.
yeah, it is. Did any of you read The Diviners?
Not
Well,
yet.
I have the
Yeah.
first one though, and I have the first and third one randomly.
Random. Yeah.
So,
I feel like if you like The Diviners, you will love The Mask of Mirrors because it's like, especially from the second book on, it's like it has the same whimsical, dreamlike quality of The Diviners, but in adult and better. So
But is it not like how to say this without spoilers? The party scenes from Mistborn.
yeah, you have that, but
Yeah.
way more like whimsical because the magic system is it's based on like tarot cards and dreams. So
Oh, okay.
oh, I feel like I'm gonna like that. I liked
I
the
think you will.
party scenes from Mistborn. So
Wait, is it Diviners or Mask of Mirrors?
Mask of Mirrors.
Really?
You read part of it,
I
right?
read 80 pages, so
Oh.
I didn't get to see the magic system. But like,
Yeah, it's really cool because it has like it's like with tarot, but not in a. I'm sorry, we're not at all about this book, but it's like tarot, but not in a like I don't know. It's like it's really cool and really whimsical because you know, like tarot in and of itself is like a little bit whimsy and stuff, and then you have dream magic on top of that, so it's really cool. Really, really cool.
well, I'm excited for the second one.
Me too.
Yeah.
Days
Me
of Blood and Starlight. I think that's gonna be really very telling and very cool.
Mhm.
And for
I
the
will
next
be
live
reading it
show
before
too.
the live show, so I can remember, but not a day before. Okay, that was
That was a mistake, yes.
that was a mistake. Only because I had other reads.
I did a week before and ended up working out because I got like 100 pages done a day, 100 or more, and then I was able to finish it really easily.
I still need to finish this for tomorrow.
How far into it are you? Oh,
I was just talking to Sophia about this, but the audiobook says I have 5 hours left, so it
Oh.
should be fine.
how is
Yeah,
the audio
also-
for that?
Yeah, also, if anyone didn't know, I am co-hosting Shell Space this month for The Unbroken, and the live show is tomorrow, exactly this time at 11.
You
Like an
guys
hour
are doing
started.
another one, aren't you, in April?
Yeah,
Yes,
that's with me.
Solana.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna read that one.
Empire of
Yay.
Silence.
Yeah, guys, it sounds really good.
I know, I'm excited for that.
Empire
Me
of
too.
Silence, that rings a bell. But I can't
Christopher
remember.
Rocchio. It's the space opera? Is it a space opera? I don't know.
It's the Sun Eater series.
Mhm.
Okay.
So,
That's the
Well,
one.
cool. Thank you for
Okay.
hosting the live show, Vish. But
Yes, thank
Thanks
you.
for this amazing
go.
discussion. This
Yeah.
is probably the longest one I've ever had, but it's great.
It was really fun. And it was really
Yeah.
cool to hear everyone else's perspective and thoughts.
Mm.
Too.
Yeah. And I'm glad everyone loved it because
Yeah.
it's good. So far, it's like everything has been, at least with this buddy read, like everything has been a hit so far, especially
Nice.
with David Bud, Crown of Feathers.
Yeah.
This.
Nice.
Did you guys read the Dream Blood duology?
I meant to full-heartedly join you on that one, and then I barely read in like December, so it didn't happen.
I had massive burnout. I didn't do that, but
Yeah.
I got invited to Erin's book named Busy. She's
Yeah.
doing the Dream Blood, so I just read the first book for January.
Oh, damn it. I didn't know that she was doing. Otherwise, I would have tried to join. But it's I put it on my list of series for this year. So
I'm with Abby with Jemison. I'm like,
the first book that I read like in January, The Killing Moon, it was okay. Like the plot was very basic, so if you like want to, you can read it really fast. But apparently, my mom has said that the second book is better in plot. We follow different characters, and it's much darker. So hopefully, I like it better because Killing Moon is not it.
Well, we know that she can do dark.
Yeah, she can.
Yeah. I still haven't managed to continue in that series. I've only read Broken Earth this season.
I've also only read. I read halfway through Obelisk Gate and then I put it down.
Yeah. Yay!
Reread always.
I mean, to be honest, this live chat has been making me want to reread it, and I literally just read it, so I'm not going to, but
it's a fun one.
It's a fun one.
All right. I gotta go, but thank you, and I will talk to you all very soon and again about the second one.
We're ending the live show right now, so it's fine.
Okay.
All right. Thanks everyone for joining us. We'll see you next time. I will obviously let you guys know when the next live show is in Discord, Instagram, anywhere. So thanks for coming.